I decided that India could produce its own car. Everybody, my friends overseas in the automobile business, said that this couldn't be done. We had to go through a collaboration to get know-how, get technology.
At some point of time, Tata Motors was losing money on every car sold in India. But that is in the past, and today, Tata Motors is India's second largest car manufacturer with the sales of around 2 lakh cars a year. Of course, Tata Motors had its fair share of ups and downs. But even when all the odds were against them, Tata Motors was keen on developing new technologies, and if history has taught us something, it is to never underestimate the Tata Group. Coming to this new decade, Tata Motors have scripted a remarkable turnaround by building models that have taken the Indian automobile market by storm. As a result, the company's market value has nearly doubled in the last year, making it one of India's most valuable automakers. Despite its recent success, Tata Motors was not willing to sit back and relax. Instead, the company is currently building the groundwork for what it believes would be a revolution in the Indian electric vehicle market in the coming years. But here is the thing. If you look at the Indian automobile industry, even though it's still growing, it is not an easy place to be. Ford, Chevrolet were examples of those who couldn't handle the heat. So one can only imagine how difficult EV segment would be. In fact, companies like Mahindra have tried and failed in the EV personal segment category. Even an industry leader like Maruti Suzuki is yet to launch an EV. Also, Hyundai and MG Motors electric models that were introduced in India are priced about 20 lakh rupees, which is something the Indian customers consider as too high for an electric vehicle. So, the question that you might have over here is, how did Tata manage to enter into the EV market and dominate it while others are yet to make even a minor gain? And most importantly, we will also try to understand what are their future plans. So, how did Tata manage to enter into the EV market so early? It was in the year 2020, Tata entered the EV segment with the Nexon EV, and to the surprise of many, it has emerged as a favorite. But you see, this is where most people are wrong. In India, the actual electric vehicle journey of Tata Motors began in 2017 when it decided to go into the EV business. In that very same year, the government-owned Energy Efficiency Services Limited chose Tata as the winner for a contract to sell 10,000 electric vehicles to the government. But here is the thing. Tata was prepping their arsenal since 2006. That is, Tata Motors European Technical Center started developing of EV technology in 2006, but they were not ready for a commercial version due to high battery costs and of course zero demand from the Indian market. This is one of the reasons why Tata was able to achieve success in the EV segment when their competitors couldn't. That is, Tata has been working in the EV segment for the last 15 years, and along with that, the company received assistance from the research and development department of Jaguar Land Rover. In other words, the company was already ahead in terms of experience and technology. Coming back to 2017, after winning the contract from government to supply 10,000 EVs, Tata finally got the opportunity to do the real-world testing for what they have been developing for a really long time. And at last, Tata was delivering cars to the government with the model name Express T. As soon as electric vehicles started hitting the roads, they have gained a good understanding of the real-world conditions for an electric vehicle. Fast forward to 2017, the Government of India announced a policy which encouraged faster adoption of electric and hybrid vehicles by providing upfront incentives for electric vehicle purchases. And this was Tata's next opportunity. However, there was a problem. The Express D model which the company used to sell to the government was having only a range of 142 km on a full charge, which was considered as less suitable for private vehicles. Therefore, in order to have an understanding from the customers in terms of purchasing, the company conducted surveys, and with the help of it, they came to know that the minimum range that a customer prefers in order to avoid a range anxiety of running out of charge on a highway is 200 kilometers. On top of that, a customer is not willing to pay more than 25% premium for a car. This means the Nexon model, which costs between Rs 7 lakh and Rs 12 lakh, was the company's best bet. In conclusion, Tata managed to fulfill both the needs of their customers by launching next-gen electric vehicle on 28th of January 2020 with a range of 300 kilometers at a price tag of 14 lakh rupees. But that is not all. When you compare it with other companies, Tata has another advantage. So, what exactly is that advantage? Well, Tata Group has created an ecosystem and thus enabling them to bring together several Tata companies to provide complete EV solutions for their customers. Now, here is how Tata's ecosystem works. Tata Power Company will set up EV charging stations at homes as well as in the cities and highways. Tata's microfinance will provide finance for customers who wish to buy the cars. And for manufacturing, Tata Auto Components Limited will provide important drivetrain and other components, etc. On the other hand, Tata will use TCS as well as Tata Elxsi to develop softwares and new technologies for electric vehicles, which also include autonomous driving as well as car connect technology. Also, Tata Chemical is working on developing battery cell as well as setting up plant for recycling lithium-ion battery. And finally, Tata Digital will be used as a partner to integrate cross-selling for Tata's EV products. Overall, Tata Motors will be able to take advantage of their group companies, which makes the cost of the products to be affordable as well as innovation to be at a greater pace. For example, Tata Power has already installed 1,000 electric vehicle charging stations in 180 cities across India, and this is expected to be around 6,000 in the next 5 years. In addition to this, every next-gen EV sold comes with a free home charging solution. Even after all these achievements, Tata Motors is not planning to stop here. If you look at the electric vehicle industry in India, it is still in its early stages. But at the same time, it is also expected to grow at a rapid pace due to the introduction of more affordable EVs, expansion of charging infrastructure, minimal price gap between conventional and electric vehicles, also the inherent cost savings in the operating and maintenance of electric vehicles is another factor which consumers are highly interested in. At the same time, the commercial vehicle division, which includes buses, trucks, and light commercial vehicles, is also getting electrified. Since Tata holds a great market share in this segment, they have decided to develop electric vehicles in this segment as well. Going ahead, Tata Motors is also planning to launch EVs in cargo segment. They are also planning to introduce more than 10 electric vehicle models over the next 3 years. And because of this, private equity major TPG Rise Climate decided to invest $1 billion in Tata Motors EV segment at a valuation of $9.1 billion. Furthermore, decreasing battery prices, rising fuel cost, and stricter pollution requirements adopted by the government can enable a tipping point for EV penetration over the next 2 years. Recently, Shailesh Chandra, the president of Tata Motors passenger vehicle segment, was asked about the EV segment during an interview with Times of India. Here, he stated that with just 2 green products right now, Tata Motors is getting booking of 3,000 to 3,500 units per month. However, they are able to supply only around 1,000 units per month. And in order to resolve this, the company is now lining up new investments to tune of $2 billion just for electrics and are planning to utilize these funds to add 10 new green vehicles, boost production capacity and charging infrastructure, as well as create intellectual property. From what Shailesh Chandra has stated, we can sum up that Tata is having a great demand for the electric vehicle category with only just 2 products at the moment. Another huge advantage that Tata Motors got compared to its competitors is its car platform. In simple words, a car platform is nothing but a structure that the car is built upon. For example, Maruti Suzuki has hard-tech platform. Here, Maruti built its Ignis, WagonR, Espresso, Swift Desire, etc. on the same platform, but just the body is different. On the other hand, Tata has its Alpha platform where all its latest cars ranging from Nexon to Ultros are built upon. But here is the catch. Unlike Maruti's high-tech platform, Tata's Alpha platform can be converted for any type of vehicles like sedan, SUV, hybrid, and most importantly, electric vehicles. That means, if Tata Motors decides to change one of its car to electric vehicle, It's easier for them compared to the competitors, and this in turn saves time, help in quick production as well as reducing production cost. On a final note, Tata is at the forefront of India's electric mobility chapter, and we see it paying off very well for the company, mainly because they are co-developing the ecosystem and thus addressing a much broader part of the value chain. Tata is slowly transitioning towards becoming a Tesla on its own. Going ahead, the research and development department of Jaguar Land Rover will be playing a major role in company's EV journey. As of today, Tata Motors is the leader with 71% market share in the relatively nascent EV cars category in India. The company has already sold over 10,000 electric vehicles of the Nexon model since launch. For Tata, this is just the beginning towards something great. And for competitors, they have a lot of catch up to do. That being said, we hope you enjoyed this video.